Welcome back to game number 3, the final of finals, the end all of all. This will determine who is your Trollnament champions on this fine Saturday. It hasn't ticked over to Sunday. We're good. We're fine. It's still technically Saturday for me.
For you, yeah.
For me, yeah, for me. Anyways, Lermy, let's talk about this. We've got late rotations and awkward silence going in again, and look at these teams. We have Discordia, Atlas, Bologna, Chiron, and let's not forget a Loki, who we've seen do some phenomenal things on this map, but going against a Chernobyl, Tiamat, Kali, Erlang Shen, and Athena.
Both these comps are pretty even, if you ask me. The one thing that gives one of them an advantage is that if Chiron is not the one getting taunted, he can cleanse his whole squad out of it. But that's only if he's got that training exercise available. But when it comes down to it, there's 2 taunts on the side of late rotations. They've got to be real careful about that one.
One thing that makes me a little worried, the Kali. Now, I don't mind Kali. I enjoy Kali. Kali is a ticking time bomb. The thing with that is Kali needs time to go off, and a lot of these matches have been determined in the first 10 to 15 minutes, it feels like, which is before Kali really benefits from anything that she's able to do in that late game. So I am a little bit worried what Corkerman is going to be able to do in the early. Now, don't get me wrong, Corkerman has had some amazing pop-offs as of late, but is this gonna go well for them? Like, how are they going to do that? Like, let's be honest. There's only one person that plays early game Kali, and that's Scream. And Scream is not on either of these rosters.
Yeah, that is the one thing to be concerned about with the Kali, though, is that Kali doesn't do much without a very specific kind of build. And the whole point of the Trollnament is that you're not building the typical things. So, if this Kali doesn't get attack speed, doesn't get penetration, she's definitely not going to be peak regardless of the time in the game that it is. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty difficult for her to do her stuff if she's not getting any of that action.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, it all comes down to the build, and well, like you said, it's a Trollnament. We don't know what that's going to be, but as we load into game here, I don't know. Awkward silence or late rotations? Place your bets right now, Lermy. Who do you got?
I've gotta say, late rotations is gonna take it. They've just got the more consistent comp that works with more things, right? Every one of those characters can really be built anyway, I suppose, and still do okay, whereas it does seem like a couple of the characters on Awkward Silence are more inclined to one specific kind of build. I'm specifically looking at the Kali and the Chernobog.
Yeah, that is going to be a little bit iffy on that. And honestly, if I was a betting man, which I shouldn't be because I've been wrong on almost everything tonight, but I'm going to say it anyways, I'm going to agree with you on late rotations. I mean, just that team comp of setup is phenomenal. Phenomenal. However, we have a Benevolence coming out on Discordia. Why do I like this? Oh, there's no way Chiron just got a Bluestone.
Hey, Bluestone and that tier 1 Transcendence possibly, or tier 1 Hydras could be Dominance.
Potentially, could be good.
That's not a bad one to get.
I'm enjoying it. I like it. Now, over on the other side of things, the Benevolence is on both mages. Tiamat and Discordia have Benevolence. What are the odds of that?
What a convenient thing for them to both have them. But
who did this?
One would be significantly better to have than the other, arguably Tiamat, because she does sometimes get in the thick of things. So theoretically, it's going to work out better on her. But it looks like the red's going to start to get pulled here. It is going to go down, and it's going to be late rotations that gets it. Fishboy's making a lot of room to let his team go in and get it. Lemon's going to pick it up, and he is more than happy to march on back to that speed buff and grab that for what I assume will be the Bologna.
Yep, very nicely done from late rotations coming in there and picking up that red. They didn't quite show complete dominance for it, but they did a really nice pull, got it back, and honestly, hats off to Fishboy. He's been doing a phenomenal job creating room as he does on those Guardians that he's been playing, really able to set up his team.
Yeah, we saw him on Atlas a little bit earlier, and I was very impressed with his Atlas play. So we'll have to see if that carries through to the match of all matches. And over on this right-hand side, there's 4 versus 1. Loki showing up to give a bit of pressure, and that means Charlie gets out safe and sound. I do want to actually take a moment to check out this Kali's build, because she has got a relatively solid build. You've got the starter item that's pretty solid on her. So I'm thinking that we're going in a pretty solid direction, at least to start things off.
We're starting that way. Will we finish that way? I don't know. The pull from Atlas is good. The taunt is a little bit better. Discordia is going to come out. Kali's going to get away. Barely. Corkberman able to get out of that engagement. Amazing setup coming through from late rotations, but just not enough damage to confirm the kill. Now caught out a little bit, awkward silence with that. However, giving Lemon is going to get the kill onto Dev. Where did that even come from? Fishboy getting the kill onto Duke. That is a 2-for-none trade as they pressure this T1 tower.
Yeah, once that Athena gets pulled back in by the Atlas, she is screwed. There is no way out of it. But on this right-hand side, there's a little contention between the assassins as Kali's trying to poke. Nice pull back in there by the Atlas to maybe start an engagement, but they're just hanging out. They're poking out each other. The only one who's especially low now is the Erlang Shen, who is creeping his way back towards the base. There's no ultimate from Fishboy, so no shooting down that Gamma Ray burst, and that bit of pressure is going to guarantee the red buff again for late rotations.
Yeah, that's 2 red buffs for them now on time. Late rotations, they're coming out strong. I mean, it's just 2-0, that's fine, but they're playing it slow. They know they don't need to be completely explosive right now, and they have picked their fights so far perfectly, which is what you need to do. This is it. This is the grand final match. Patience is what is needed. You cannot just W key into a victory. Well, okay, you could probably W key into a victory with this, but it's not the ideal thing to do.
Probably not, but if I'm Awkward Silence, I am hoping and praying that my Kali's build is sick, because if it is, then they'll be wanting to wait until the late game, because if they just let late rotations continue to push and push and push, it could get bad for them. But as you said in the picks and bans, if Corkerman is allowed to farm up and get to the point where Kali can actually play the game, it might just be over.
Yeah, they need to figure out a way to not, they don't have to shut Kali out, but they need to keep Kali behind. That is the biggest name of the game right now. And right now, the person that's behind is actually Bologna, a level 6. But however, coming through, Dev getting the kill onto Fishboy, that is pretty darn good right there. The ultimate also expended. Now we have a 5-man grouping over on the right-hand side. We only have 20 more seconds before that siege minion pops up. Well, 3 seconds before Fishboy is coming back, so that means that it will be able to be contested. It won't be free.
And what you saw there was the power of Athena Taunt. If you are able to get that ability off, I mean, that's why she's constantly banned in kind of mid-MMR ranked, is because she is just so annoying to deal with in comps that are not super well oriented in knowing how to play against her. But I mean, we are at the top of the finals here. We should be seeing these guys that know how to play against this Athena, and clearly they need a little bit more practice on it if they're gonna let her walk up, taunt, and just insta-kill you like that.
Yeah, really good zoning coming out from Awkward Silence. The disco ult is good, the blow up is even better, and looks like Awkward Silence is going to get that siege. However, for what cost, Dev is going to drop down to the Loki, chasing out, trying to get the team out. The Bologna ultimate is good for the stun. The damage not quite there, however. Coming back into the thick of things, Kali is going to now use the ultimate, but defensively, to try to get out of there and live. It looks like they are now running under their T2. What can happen? Chernobyl is in a bad situation, just not able to go anywhere, surrounded by the team. But it looks like they are just going to disengage and back off rather than dive him under this T1. Everyone is now coming back.
To.
Oh, onto that
Defender of
siege.
Olympus is coming through, though, so they've got to be concerned about that. Nice cleanse there, the 9 turns blessing by the Chiron. So that's going to be the end of that push, but at least Awkward Silence is able to guarantee themselves a red buff here. So they did get something for winning that trade, but at the end of the day, it's not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed, but like you said, they got something, which is better than getting nothing for it. And it's not that it wasn't said. They defended very well. They got out with their lives. That is something to praise in itself right there.
Indeed, but they're going to be losing this left side enhanced blue as well. And what an individual to put it on other than Discordia, the queen of cooldowns, getting it. And she's going to be loving that for the next few moments that she has it. But in the meantime, everybody's going to be hanging out and farming up. No one's really itching to get into these fights. They're kind of just willing to play the long game and let their builds develop.
Both teams are being very patient, and that is what is worrisome for me right now, because that is that's what the Kali wants. Kali wants to play that late game, and I know we keep bringing this up, but that is just a huge thing. Atlas ult used there for I don't know what reason.
For fun.
I guess for fun. I guess. I don't know. But it looks like, is that a Heartseeker on Kali right there?
It is, and that is somewhat worrisome, because that is an item that's typically saved for later in your build, and yes, it does a lot of damage when you get it early, but my thought process from seeing that so early is that this is her only damage item, and she's going to have to work with Heartseeker, and that's going to be kind of it.
Yeah, like in my mind, I'm kind of going, oh no, is Kali just going to have to build into just like a breastplate next and just like a few other just defensive items, which don't get me wrong, do have their place, but not quite on a Kali.
Nice pull in there from Fish Boy. Apple off the mark, or rather Teapot. Nice triple stun there from the Kali, doing her best to go after her target, which is the Discordia, but she's going to get away. That's a sprint pop, then a Crypto is actually going to pick off Corkerman, who used the destruction to try and dive the tower, but didn't get much out of it. That taunt secured the double kill there, as Crypto is autoing the whole time while he's taunted. So that's 2 for the Loki, who's 3-0-2 right now. He's looking pretty solid.
He's looking very solid, and with a Bluestone and a Dominance on your side, yeah, I would be pretty solid and confident with that one too. Very nice play, a great double kill. Late rotations, they really felt that one out. They waited for Corkerman on Kali to engage. As soon as that ultimate was expensed, it was like, okay, kill the Kali. That's fine. Get them out of there. Put some pressure on, and that's exactly what they did. They were able to hit the gas a little bit. They got a little bit of tower damage, not much, but they got a little bit more of a gold lead. They got a little bit more of an experience lead, and slowly this will start going in their favor for that. Like I said, they're not being greedy. If this was late rotations game 1 or late rotations the previous sets we've cast, they would have been going all out after those first 2 kills. They would have chased those down, and I really do enjoy the respect that they have for Awkward Silence in backing off, knowing that they can't just continuously run it down. The bill will come due eventually.
Yes, the person that I'm most worried about if I'm Awkward Silence is going to be a Crypto, because he is the one that is fed right now, and you never want to be dealing with a fed Loki. Even if their build is a little wonky, I mean, they've got a Horrific and an Ankh, but still got a little bit of power on their side between the Bluestone and the Dominance. I'm not hating that build so much. It certainly is not the best for Loki, but at least he's got some form of offense.
Very true. I mean, it's something. However, one thing coming up, we have an engagement onto here. Athena taunt coming through. The Erlang taunt coming through. The Bologna ult going out. The Apple is good. The Apple blows up. A lot of damage coming through. Tiamat is going to fall to Lexo. A Crypto's going to get frozen as well. And now it's not just done yet. Kali ultimate is expense, but the taunt is absolutely beautiful. Making it done. Getting down. Corkerman gets it. But
so unfortunate there for the Kali. That was the target too, but only obtained it right after falling down themselves, which means they got the gold, but they didn't get the full heal that they would have needed to survive that fight. So close there, and so unfortunate for Corker.
That would have been that would have won the team fight if that actually would have went in that favor, and that is heartbreaking to see. for Corker, man. Like that is, I have no words. I don't even play Kali, and I feel terrible watching that happen. But Apophis now has spawned up in the center. We'll see if that comes up for contention. On the left-hand side, Awkward Silence is going to have to deal with that Siege Juggernaut. It looks like Erlang Shen is going over there to deal with it. Everyone else kind of going through. Chernobog coming over. You know, one thing we never really made mention of is Chernobog, Lermy. That ultimate of his is going to be very useful in split pushing and rotating over to the team fights.
I guess that's the question of if he can, right? Because he's got the Death's Toll double hammer. He doesn't do a whole lot of damage at this point, especially with that Blackthorn on his side. Like, that is keeping his mana up, yes, but is it really improving his damage? I'm not too sure.
Very true. Ultimates all coming out always. A lot of damage, not any killing blows, however, into the fray, but is surrounded, rooted down. Can Athena do anything? Shield wall is going to be popped. Bologna is going to rally here. And now, falling, Corkerman gets the kill onto Charlie underneath the tower, trying to look for more. There is nothing more to be had. Atlas is not scared. Atlas is going to run that down. And that looks like it will be the end of that little engagement. Will late rotations continue to siege, however, down onto this T2? They have the health advantage. They have the numbers advantage. We'll see what happens. And yes, they're going to go ahead and take that T1 tower, forcing everyone back underneath the T2. Athena coming in with Defender of the Olympus. Tiamat now going out. Athena taunt is good. Shield wall is good. Not quite coming in as Loki, trying to create some space and making something happen. Now it looks like finally disengaging. Are they going for Apophis now, grouping up? No, they're just going over.
They can't.
They're going
Yeah,
too
they're
late.
going to go clear this wave.
Low.
They're going to hang out, go back to base, spend the money that they made from taking down that tower. Unfortunate for Charlie that he wasn't there to pick up on any of that extra gold laying around, but he'll be okay. He traded his life for a good cause, and they got the tower because he did zone out most of the team. So we're not too mad about that, right?
Yeah,
the thing that we should be mad about, though, is the amount of level 16s on the side of late rotations compared to the amount of level 14s on the side of Awkward Silence. This XP lead is starting to get a bit scary, especially when it gets to a little bit closer to that level 20 mark, because that's when the enhanced starter items start to come online. And if the gold lead is a little bit too high at that point, it's going to get scary.
I'm like, the gold lead is like 2 wards right now, right? What awards cost? I don't know. I'm a support. I don't buy them.
Nice double taunt there that's immediately cleansed out by the training exercise. Not going to follow up any additional damage on that one. So everyone's going to go back to clearing the wave and hanging out. So I do think that we have some time to check out the builds. And it's only getting worse here for this Loki, who's had to pick up Midgard. So I assume he's basically out of offensive options after getting that Toxic Blade. And he's going to have to suffer with the defense.
You know, I'm not going to say he's completely out of options. Personally, I think that's a good pickup. The Midgardian is going to affect one person in particular, Kali. That is going to be a big detriment on that attack speed going through with that one. But the damage coming through onto this Tiamat. Tiamat, it just keeps getting caught out with this stuff. Can it get?
Oh.
Yes! I like
nice hits there.
Amazing hits. Great teamwork coming through. Now diving in, chasing them under the T2. The rally here is good. Doesn't find anything on the mark, though, but the aura is down. The hammer is out. They are swinging for it. The frenzy is popped. The jump out. The disengage. Awkward Silence do not want to be here anymore. Frizzin is going to fall. And now, late rotations. Look at this position they are in. This is going very well for late rotations.
Oh, and they got the pull there from the Atlas back onto the Kali. He's going to send the kinetic charge in. Nice damage there, but the destruction is good enough, and Deeve does finish off the kill onto Fishboy, getting very, very low themselves, but they're going to be able to get on out of there, and they're leaving that Juggernaut behind. They're going to trade Fishboy for the tower, and they're more than happy to go through and invade whatever buffs are left. And at the same time, they're heading to this left, grabbing this big old juicy wave that was building up and waiting for them. And, you know, they'll snag the enhanced blue on the way as well.
Yeah. I mean, what more can you say? They got everything they needed on that one. Late rotations pushed up. They're up to the Phoenix on the right-hand side of the map. They've got minions pushing up. It's they're playing this very careful and very by the book. However, awkward silence grouping all up on that left-hand side. They do have the siege. They should be able to take the T1 tower. It's going to be a little bit more gold into their pockets. Not a whole lot, but it's still something that's going to be there. However, on that left side of the map as well, another siege juggernaut has spawned for late rotations. So they're going to meet up in the middle. Both teams are going to be duking it out right here. Is this a fight that you want to take if you're awkward silence?
You certainly can, but the gold numbers are not looking too hot for you. I'd probably want to play around some kind of objective, and just trying to force a fight out in the open is not a good look for you. You're definitely a lot better off. You're feeling really great when you're defending something. Mostly because you've got that unofficial 6th man on your side when it's the tower, the phoenix, or even the titan. So playing around those kind of things is definitely what they've got to aim for here if they want to get back in.
Is Chernobyl building into another hammer?
He's got a lot of health, but I don't know what that really does for him.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he's not dying as much. He's only got 1 death, so the health has got to be helping. Athena coming in with a taunt and a nice little shield wall. Those apples have been on point. Oh my gosh. Frizzin doesn't stand a chance. Is dropped immediately after the apple pops and Crypto takes him down. Now getting out of there, Deeve 64 go back to base as well. Kali coming in. Corkerman trying. Corkerman dying. It is all down to Aram and Duke now. They're trying to run. It is now all down to Aram now. And can he do it with that Chernobyl? The health is not enough. The hammers cannot stop the all-out assault that is the late rotations right now.
They're heading back to base, but their Juggernaut still has a sliver of health. If they're able to keep it alive, their teleports will go through. It's going to be all about where the Phoenix aggroes first, and it looks like it is about to start swinging, but a Crypto has made it back. They're able to grab that Phoenix and go.
They're Apophis. The Apophis call has got to be right here now.
Absolutely.
There's no way they don't do Apophis right now.
There's no contest. There's no way that anyone from Awkward Silence gets there in time. I mean, this thing is getting shredded by Loki. He's being able to get those backstabs for basically free, and especially if he uses his 2, he's getting every single hit of his 3 with that backstab bonus. Yep. And you really love to see it when that happens for him, but you don't love to be seeing it if you're Awkward Silence.
All right, Lermy, you've got 1 Phoenix down. You are down 12 kills. You are down almost 9k gold. What do you do? What is your strategy? What would you be telling your teammates right now?
Get a better Chernobyl build? No, I'm kidding, that's BM.
Oh, God.
But the unfortunate reality of this situation is that this Chernobyl build is not doing him any favors. And it's just unfortunate because this is what he has to build, right? He is a character that is very much built on his items. And without his items, he's feeling really weak. But there's really nothing in this build that's saving him, right? There's no saving grace. With the small amounts of power that he's getting from the hammers is not really helping him because he's just attacking so slow. He doesn't really have the CC to benefit from the Rune Forge other than his 1-2 combo. And I guess his ultimate, I mean... Well, if you ult in, you're getting some of that, but I haven't really seen Aram use the ultimate in that way. He's more so been playing a little bit more passively because he can't really force the engagement.
Forcing out the Kali ultimate over on that right-hand side of the map, and then a Crypto coming in at the end to take it down. What timing on that one? Everything's being popped. The shells are going... Late rotations is just running Awkward Silence down. They don't want this silence to be awkward. They want it to be permanent. They want it to end. A triple kill for a Crypto as they run down onto this final Phoenix with minions are pouring into the Titan room. That's another one down. Tiamat is down. What can happen? What can Aram do on this Chernobyl? But watch as his Titan falls and their team takes the 2nd place spot, leaving late rotations, your Troll Limit champions for February 2022.
Huge congratulations there to late rotations. They played that last game nearly perfectly. I mean, you can definitely say for sure there were a little bit of hiccups here and there, but that is not to diminish at all what late rotations have done here with this comp. I definitely think that they had the much easier draft to execute on, but that does not at all mean that they did not do it very, very well. I've got to give a special shout outs though to a crypto who has felt like the MVP. I mean, we saw him on the Daji go off. He went
Yes.
off this game with the Loki at the end with that triple kill. That was insane. Insane play from him, and insane play from the rest of late rotations as well.
Yeah, phenomenal job from everyone. I mean, obviously, both teams played very hard to make it right here to the Grand Championship match. Nothing to be taken away from that. But yes, like 100%. MVP in my heart goes to a crypto. The plays that were able to be made. Runner up, I gotta say, Fishboy on that Atlas looked so determined and so focused, hitting dang near everything. Just a phenomenal thing to see.
Indeed, indeed. And congratulations to them for being the champions again. I mean, we can't say it enough. It's a blast to watch these tournaments and see all the crazy shenanigans and hijinks that everyone gets up to with their builds and whatnot. It's so much fun to see what happens if you're not building the absolute uber meta of Smite.
Oh, yeah, I mean, meta's lame. We don't want meta. We don't want meta. I mean, do you really want a meta after Facebook changed its name to Meta? No, you don't. You want something better. Facebook sucks, and it's still Facebook even though you named it Meta. We find our own. And that is what we have Troll Limits, where we find our own. But with that, we have crowned our Troll Limit champions. There they are for everyone to see. Give them a round of applause. And with that, I bid you all adieu. Chat, good night. Hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly did. And hopefully we will see you next month. Lermy, thank you so much for being here. And you take care.
Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great rest of your nights.